Salut tout le monde, je m'appelle Chelsea et voici mon mari, Monsieur Nate Savage.
That's for you, Vincent, less Acadians, if you end up watching this, or if you're in the live chat. Hey everybody, welcome to this week's live lesson. Chelsea and I just finished filming a video on music theory, so it was a couple days ago. I was like, hey, you want to just do the live lesson with me since you're going to be up at work anyways?
Yeah.
So yeah, sure, I'll do it. So
I'm here as the Vanna White. I'll be reading your questions, relaying them to Nate, and just hanging.
And it's funny because as soon as we started, the noise upstairs stopped. There's a lot of construction going on upstairs today, so you're going to hear like some it sounds like somebody's drilling into a wall of concrete, which it probably is.
Actually, you know what it sounds like is a student who has picked up a trombone for the first time and is like,
he's trying to hit the lowest note he can.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah. If you have any questions at all about anything on guitar related, get those in. Just hit the question button right below the video player in the members area. It doesn't have to be a question either. It could be just an update on how you're doing with the guitar, what you've been working on, talking about new gear that you're getting or thinking about buying. To any of those things are fair game. I know that there are already 2 questions in there.
Yep.
So,
yeah, we want to hear from you.
And we're going to play a couple of tunes today just to make it a little more entertaining as well. And they're tunes, songs Chelsea wrote.
Well, I co-wrote them.
Co-wrote.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the first song we're going to do,
right, yeah.
It's called Love Letter. I wrote it with a lady named Megan Smith, and I ended up walking down the aisle to this song when we got married. Yep. So it's our wedding song.
Yeah, playing a song that's written about you isn't embarrassing at all. It's fine. Yeah, so we'll play that one for you, and we'll do another one at the end. We'll talk about that later. Cool.
Writing you this letter to say that I couldn't be happier today, and I know that I owe it to you. Dear God, I wasn't sure love letters were real. I thought love was too painful to feel, so I sealed up my heart from view. I tried my best to play it safe, but my heart kept wishing that one day you'd write to me and help me see that love was on the way to me. Here's your love letter to me, in every line and all in between. I can feel what love's supposed to be. Here's your love letter to me. Dear God, he's got strong arms, but his heart is so soft. Calls me beautiful, says I'm more than enough. Yeah, he loves me like I know you do. Dear God, I promise that I'll answer you back. Every day I'll love him more than the last, and we'll write a love story that's true. Well, it took a while to get it straight, but he was more than worth the wait. Each tear I cried, each prayer I sighed, each hope was answered in your reply. He's your love letter to me, in every line and all in between. I can feel what love's supposed to be. Here's your love letter. Here's your love letter.
jazziest song I've ever been associated with, besides jazz band in college. So this goes to show you don't have to know a ton about jazz to really get into it and make some really cool music. Because like these are all pretty standard like bar chord shapes that I'm using.
Yeah. When I'm writing, I prefer jazz and blues chords.
Yeah,
I find that
Chelsea uses a lot of major sevenths and a lot of dominant seven chords.
Yeah, I love the major sevens.
And you'll see that the song we're going to do at the end is probably the second jazziest song on the album, on your latest album.
Yep.
And again, just some basic bar chords to jazz things up. So.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. You want to get to some
chat or questions? What's going on over there? I can't see.
Oh, hi, Marion.
Oh, cool.
I'm always happy to see and hear. Aw, Chelsea sing. Aw, thanks. Oh, and David. Cool. All right. Well, let's get to the questions. Oh, where is the question? Oh, there we
very
go.
bottom, yeah.
Okay. Question. The ones above are all in the future weeks. Where is today's November 7th?
Oh, okay. I see. You're wanting to know where the archives are for the live lessons. At the bottom of the live page, you'll see something that says "Miss a Lesson?" ? You can click on that, and I think the last 3 or 4 months are archived, so you can know exactly. You can go back and watch them anytime you like. It's like a rotating, kind of a sliding archive of the last 3 or 4 months, I think.
Cool.
So, yeah, just click on that.
And we have a question.
Who was that from?
Oh,
That
it was.
last one?
I think it was Brocky.
Brocky?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Brocky.
Awesome.
Okay. This one is from Catman.
Catman.
What are your opinions on using guitar string lubricant?
I use it. I've used a couple of different ones over the years, and I noticed some benefits and some negatives about it, but the benefits outweigh the negatives to me. I use something called Fast Fret. It's made by GHS, and basically to me it's like WD-40 that's in like this little applicator that's kind of just soaked in it. And it really cleans your strings off very well, and like it gets all the garbage off of them and keeps them from having to change strings. Because if you just leave that stuff there and don't wipe it off, then it can turn into rust and grime and stuff like that. And then you just change strings, right? Especially when you have body chemistry like me, I tarnish strings very fast. So I use that stuff quite a bit because I don't feel like changing strings every week. Mm-hmm. I can get probably 2 or 3 times the amount of wear out of strings if I use some kind of string cleaner or lubricant. The other good purpose or good thing about it is, like you said, it's a lubricant. So once your strings start getting a little bit tarnished, even if they're not that bad, they still sound really good. They can get really dry. So when you're trying to slide up like that, you can be like, right? On the other hand, if you use too much of it, I find that when you try to slide up to a note, that for some reason it just has the opposite effect if you have too much on it or if you don't wipe it off really well. It has the effect of kind of drying them out. Like, what's the best? Like WD-40, sometimes I use in my strings if I'm in a pinch, if I don't have any string lubricant or cleaner. So sometimes I'll use that. And I notice that has the exact same effect that like the GHS Fast Fret does. There are a couple of other ones, but I like it as far as making your strings last longer and sound brighter so you don't have to change them as much. Now, do you really need it? I guess not. Like if you have a cloth that you wipe down your guitar with and like actually pinch the string and go down over the whole thing and wipe it off. If you do that regularly and wash your hands before you play, that'll help your strings last longer too. So, but I use it. So Chelsea doesn't.
Does that help you when you're playing? You know how sometimes when you remove your finger from a string, you get like a Like, does that?
I haven't noticed it making it any better. Maybe it makes it a little bit better, but I haven't really noticed it. Okay. It just makes it faster,
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I just know that there's some guitars that when I'm playing it, I just like it's like the whole time. So.
Don Ross, Don Ross was out here doing the series he did for us, he's like, he's in the studio one day and the guy was like, and Don Ross is a world-class player. I mean, like literally a world-class player.
From Halifax?
He's from Halifax, yeah.
Hello, Halifax.
And somebody said to him, it's like, man, you really need to clean that up. Because he was like changing bar chords up. I can't even do it. I guess down is worse for me about that. That. He's like, you know what? I do. I need to work on that. So he said, He just worked on lifting his fingers up just enough to not make that sound. See, I just did it right there again, but there you go. So,
Okay, so it's less about like a lubricant and more about the touch.
yeah,
Your touch.
more about just keeping contact with the strings. I don't mind it though. Like when I hear that noise, I kind of like it on recordings. As long as it's not like every measure or something, right? So
Kind of like breathing in between lines.
yeah, it's like breathing, or just you're like, oh, that's an acoustic that was actually recorded with some nice mics or whatever. You know?
It wasn't fake.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then these days in the studio, you just never know.
Cool.
There you go. All right. It says, Chelsea, how are sales of the new album going? They're going well.
Yeah.
I find in the age of streaming, I find a lot of people are going more to iTunes and Spotify.
Yeah, streaming numbers are almost more important than sales numbers now.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how things switch. I mean, it's unfortunate for sometimes if you're, truth be told, as an independent artist, you get more percentage if from like
Physical
a physical
sales,
album
yeah.
sales, whereas a streaming, it's like a teeny tiny
Yeah.
bit of a cent. But that's just how the music industry works lately. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how things are going, and good sales at the live shows. And
Yeah, we did. We had a really good album release concert
Yeah.
where we had a full marching band on the
a
last
marching
song.
band. Yeah.
And I got Josh and Taras, I hired them to film it. So there will be YouTube videos up of the entire show, all the songs we played, and that is in there. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and sometimes as a musician, you get a great idea and you don't realize what you're getting yourself into until it's
It's
rolling.
like, what have I done?
So I invited this marching band, and I don't know why, I never thought about how many of them there were. And then one day, when it was really close to the event, I said, so how many of them are there? And he said 55. And I was like, I'm about to have a 61-person band, and I just had a little panic attack there for a moment. Like,
It
oh
turned
my
out
goodness.
really well, though. It
Yeah,
turned out as
it
good
was
as
so
it could
fun.
have, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, but we didn't even get a chance to practice with our band and their band in the venue. So it was just like kind of praying that everything would come together.
Yeah, me, Chelsea, and Ruben from Drumeo went to have a rehearsal with him, but that's all we got to do.
Yeah, so if you know Jordan from Pianote, he played at the event too.
Yeah.
He never played with the marching band. The bass player
player
never
hadn't.
played, and the
other
other
guitar
guitar
player,
player. Yeah, so they'd never played with the marching band. But,
It went well.
you know, que sera,
It was
sera,
fun.
and
Big-
it worked out.
Largest
Yeah.
band I've ever played in, by the way.
Yeah, 61 people. It was so fun, though. Yeah. Cool. Oh, yeah, Taylor says coated strings are good in between to string lubricant and not.
Yeah, like coated strings, like especially with elixir strings, I find it because they have a coating on them. It seems like the peaks and valleys on the wound strings are less. There's more stuff in there, so they don't squeak as much. And coated strings last longer, that's for sure. But they are a lot more expensive, so you got to keep that in mind. Depends how much money you want to spend.
All right. Oh, we got to that question already.
Cool.
Yeah.
Who's that from?
David L.
David L.
Yeah.
On the island.
Yeah.
Probably relaxing. I don't know, maybe not.
All right. Cool, man.
Cool.
Yeah. So we just filmed a video about. What was it about?
It's about
Music theory.
It's about music theory, and
Brain fart.
a lot of people get really standoffish when you talk about music theory, especially if they're newer to playing guitar. It's like, oh, I've heard that's too difficult for me, or there's too much to it to really get it down. I'll never be able to do that. But we did it in a really easy, accessible way to kind of lure people into learning about music theory without really realizing that they were doing it.
And music theory, so in school, in grade school, the lowest mark I ever received on a test ever was a music theory test. It was on the circle of fifths. And I think I got a 51. Like I don't know if she just put that like one extra 1%
multiple choice?
I don't remember. I just remember I was like, wow, I've never gotten a 51 before on a test. Anyway, I was a bit of a keener, like I wanted all 90s on everything, so I was...
Honor student.
Yeah, I was... so 51 hurt.
My 51 was probably in math. But basically what we did was just went through the courses of 5 different like pop tunes And we have a cheat sheet that has every major key on it, and we're like, check these songs out. They're all in different keys. They all use the same chords as far as, like the 1, the 4, the 5, the 6, and whatever key you're talking about, but they're all in different keys. So what was the first one that we did? Can't remember.
Oh yeah. Save tonight. Fight the break of dawn, come tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be gone, save tonight. Fight the break of dawn, come tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be gone.
Cool. But like, we had every major key written out, and the first few tunes, I told them, okay, it's in this key, check this out. The first, 4th, and 5th notes of that major scale, in this case, this song is in the key of C major. The first, 4th, and 5th notes of any major scale have major chords that go along with them. And then Chelsea said, and the 2nd, 3rd, and 6th chords have minor chords that go along with them. So if you have a key written out or a major scale written out, you can tell what chords occur naturally in that key, which makes it a lot easier to figure out what key songs are in and what chords you can use together just in a setting. So for example, the chords in that tune on the chorus are A minor, was it F, C major, and G major. And if you look at the first, 4th, and 5th notes of a C major scale on the cheat sheet, then it was C for the 1, F for the 4, and G for the 5. And then the 2nd, 3rd, and 6th chords were D, E, and A, or D minor, E minor, and A minor. And the other chord in that song is an A minor, so that's like a dead giveaway that you're in the key of C major. And those aren't the only chords you can use, but they're a good way to kind of get into music theory, because all you have to do is have the cheat sheet and remember 1, 4, and 5 for major, 2, 3, and 6 for minor.
Yeah.
That's it. And as you learn more about guitar and more about music theory, then other things are going to start to blossom and open up out of just looking at the notes in a major scale. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So
I find when I'm songwriting, I'll kind of, if I am, I don't know, if I'm hanging out on a G a lot or whatever, I just figure out what key do I want to write in. And sometimes the key changes after I've written the song. But for the initial thing, I'll figure out, okay, what key am I in? And then I'll just like write out, okay, what are all my available chords that I can use, like diatonic chords. So chords that occur naturally in that key. I'll just write them out, actually like physically write them out so that I can kind of keep my whole palette in my mind as I'm kind of moving forward, so I don't get stuck on like the same 2
what should
chords.
I use here?
Yeah. So I can just try other things and be like, ooh, I like this. This chord makes it a little more moody or whatever.
Yeah, and on most pop music and most rock music, it's going to be those chords that are diatonic or naturally occurring, and then like a handful of other ones that are mostly used, unless you're like modulating or using getting some really jazzy things going.
Yeah.
So that's what, 7 chords plus maybe 4, so that's 11 chords for any particular given key. So for G major, it'd be G major, A minor for 2, B minor for 3, C major for 4, D major for 5, E minor for 6, F sharp minor 7/5, or F diminished for 7.
Those diminished chords.
Nobody uses those in pop.
I don't.
But a cool trick for a diminished chord, if you don't know it, all you have to do is play like the 5/7 chord, and it's kind of a substitute for it without the root note in it. So a D7, kind of the same thing. If you don't know diminished shape. So.
Yeah, I don't love the diminished chords, but who does really? David says he's back in Texas for now.
Oh, okay, awesome. Who's Kate, a new member? I think it was a new member. Oh, just bought your album. Messaged me, but I think she lives in Cyprus, David. So if you see her in the form or anything.
That's where I mailed it. I remember writing the address. Yeah. Oh, and thank you so much to everyone who bought a copy of the album.
Yeah, David and Marion.
Yeah. Sorry, I just hit my mic. Yeah, that really means a lot to me to have your support, and so thank you so much.
I was going to say something else about the whole key thing, but I lost my train of thought.
Oh, sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Let's see. If you have any questions, get them in. We'll do one more song, give you some time to get questions in. But if not, I will assume that everything is going awesome for you. Before we get into that, I kind of went over this yesterday in the live stream for Instagram and Facebook. But like I've been working on a lot of pentatonic stuff lately. Like fretboard navigation stuff with pentatonics and a lot of new concepts where I'm like, oh man, I really have to slow this down. So it's really good. I'm saying that to say this. It's really good to have something new that you're bad at in your practice routine. If you don't have something new that you're bad at in your practice routine, you're probably not getting better. So for what that's worth, I've been working on that. We're actually going on a little mini tour this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday on Vancouver Island. Starting out with a full band. The next show gets a little smaller. By the time of the last 2 shows, there's just 3 of us, so a trio. But it'll be fun. So I've been working on that as well, getting Chelsea songs down, relearning them. And I'm playing guitar, mostly electric guitar on the first gig, bass on the second gig, and mostly acoustic guitar on the last 2. So it's going to be interesting to make sure I have all this done.
Yeah, it's fun to get these new songs out because we worked on the album for over a year, really, from the beginning of the writing up until it was released. So it was a long time coming, and it feels good to be able to finally release it.
So you want to tell them about this next tune we're doing?
Oh, so he says Cyprus is where I am also, David.
I didn't know that. That's awesome. I don't know, for some reason I thought it was somewhere else. Cool, man.
Oh, we got a new...
Oh, we got another question. Cool.
Oh, it says, I'm thinking... Oh, here. It's from Jess Guitar.
Cool. Hey, Jess.
I'm thinking about buying a Yamaha RevStar guitar. Have you tried them or heard them in person?
I've played a lot of Yamaha guitars over the years, and I really like them for the money.
And thank you for the kind.
I think, yes.
It says, by the way, you two sounded great
Oh,
before.
okay, awesome.
Thank you.
I have not played a RevStar specifically, but I've watched quite a lot of reviews on them, and I've heard a lot of really good things about them. Kind of the series before that the RevStar kind of replaced, I did play quite a few of those. They're great. So that's the closest experience I have to them. My biggest advice would be either to go to a music store where you can play one, or order it from somewhere you know takes returns. Like Sweetwater is really good about, like, if you buy a guitar and you don't like it, you want something else, they'll take it back. So that's one of the things I would do. I'd be more inclined to buy an electric, like of a website than an acoustic. I probably would never buy an acoustic of a website because I like to get my hands on it and make sure that particular guitar is what I want. But I'll be more inclined to buy an electric guitar off of an online site. So.
Cool. All right, let's see. I'm just gonna check to make sure.
I know there's like a 3 to 5 minute delay on questions, so I just want to make sure that we don't overlook anything.
Okay. Looks like we're up to date so far, so that's good. Okay.
So what made you decide to write the song in A flat major or F minor?
I co-wrote this one. So I think this one, it started in a different key, and I can't remember which key it was, because this is the oldest song on the album.
On the album, yeah.
It's called Like Grace. So I can't remember. I wrote the chorus, and then I brought it to a friend of mine named Paul Coleman, and then we wrote the rest of it together. Yeah, I can't remember which key it started in. But anyway, after actually singing it out, and I think I mentioned this earlier in this particular lesson, that sometimes I'll start with a key in mind, and then after that I'll sing it and see how it feels in my voice, where it sits, and if it needs to go higher or lower, then I'll adjust accordingly. So.
Cool. So this is an F minor. It's basically, you can look at this in a couple of different ways. If you're thinking about the major key of A flat, you can think about this as like the starting progression is F minor. Oh, sorry, B flat minor, C minor, F minor. That's like the main progression.
You know, it probably started in E minor.
Okay.
I'm guessing. Because I think I often will write my more like funky stuff. I tend to start in E minor. So
Like a real guitar player should.
yeah. So
But like if you're thinking about A flat major, you can think about B flat minor as the 2. You can think about C minor as the 3, and they could think about F minor as the 6. Now, if you want to make F the kind of the home base and think about it being in like F minor or FA only, and F would become the 1. Then B flat minor would become the 4 in that minor key, and then the 5 would become that C minor. So either way you want to think about it, those are the main chords in this tune. You want to give it a go?
all right.
Okay.
What would it be like to meet amazing grace, to witness heaven's mercy, to see her face to face? She's a flower in a pistol, cold water in the heat. She's a key inside the prison door that sets a captive free. If you ask for her number, she'll say, the fastest way to know me is to give me away. I wanna be like Grace. I wanna be like Grace. She's beauty, mystery, skin on its best. I wanna be like Grace. She's a bright supernova exploding in the sky. She's as tender as a mother singing lullabies. She can scare away all fear. She can kiss away your shame. And she says she can't remember how you messed up yesterday. If you ask for a number, she'll smile. She'll trade your rags for gold and walk the miracle mile. I wanna be like Grace. I wanna be like Grace. She's beauty, mystery, skin on its best. I wanna be like Grace. Well, the stick goes right through you, sees the honest skies, but she won't stick it to you. Just love you till you're right. She was there fighting evil when love was left alone, and she sang hallelujah, and they rolled away the stone. Yeah. Ooh, da-da-da-da-da.
Cool. 5 bar chords, man. That's all it was. Great song. Another question coming in.
John and Fam.
Hey, John.
I think there's an emoticon.
Oh, emoji?
Your emoji. Oh, emoticon.
I don't even know what that is.
What do the kids call those things? Okay.
Transformer.
And then there's I think it's supposed to be something, but it's just a square.
A square thumbs up. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for the thumbs up.
I guess we'll just check the chat one more time if there are no questions.
All right.
We'll let you guys get back to it and go practice because that's what I have to do
Oh,
after this.
thanks, David. He said, love this song, one of my favorites on the album.
Oh, awesome. Cool.
Thank
Glad
you
to
so
hear
much.
that,
Chelsea is trying to be Andrew with torn pants. There we go.
Chelsea literally asked me last night, is it okay if I wear ripped jeans? I was like, yeah, wear whatever you want. I don't care.
There you go. These ones are falling apart a little bit.
Well,
but
they're ripped.
I know, but they're ripped in places they're not supposed to be ripped.
No.
Anyway. Whatever.
What are we doing after this? We're going to the grocery store and maybe to get some pizza.
Pizza! $5 off coupon, baby.
That's right. Guys, I hope you have a great week. If you have any questions at all, the forums have been really good lately. I've been enjoying a lot of stuff there. So just leave it in the forums, go in and weigh in on what other people have been working on, the troubles they're having, some gear issues in there. I forget, those are really cool gear one. I can't remember what it was. I think it was Les's acoustic amp that he's buying. He finally decided on one, so cool.
Yeah, cool.
All right, is there another one? Good to go.
I'll just
Refresh.
No, don't think so. Tech Boss says bravo. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Don't forget, I've been doing, I know it's almost a week away, full week away, but I've been doing live Q&A, just hangouts on Facebook and Instagram on Monday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific, and they've been pretty fun, man. So,
Yep. Live in our house. So you
yeah,
get to
live
see our
now.
guest
Chester's
room.
like, are you live yet? I
Yeah.
need to be quiet.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I don't use the blender or something.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys, have a great week, and we'll see you next time.